Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. The paid request, this time from Marion. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box, under pretty much each of these videos. Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins from 2008. For a split second, I thought it was Leroy Jenkins. Leroy Jenkins! No, different Jenkins. Is that Jinkies either? Like that stupid new Velma cartoon that no one gives a shit about. This stars Martin Lawrence, who I'm a fan of. I didn't grow up with the Martin TV show, but I did see some of it later in life, and I do remember liking it. This is a guy that started up in stand-up and got into films like House Party 2, which were surprise hits for New Line Cinema. That at the time was only known for Nightmare on Elm Street, but then with that and Ninja Turtles, they realized they could have other hits. But Martin Lawrence was in the first two, didn't come back for the third one. He instead did films like Boomerang with Eddie Murphy. He had his TV show for about 5 years. And then Bad Boys in '95. Really, the TV show and Bad Boys really kicked into high gear for him. He got to direct a film, but thin line between love and hate. And sorry if you heard that, because I just, even my body went, you sure you want to remember that movie? I mean, it's not the worst movie ever, but I don't think it's one of the highlights of Martin Lawrence's career. I think that and other issues is probably why he hasn't really directed again. But you had Bad Boys 2, which I love. Same with the first Bad Boys. I love all three Bad Boys films, actually. Blue Streak I liked. Nothing to Lose, that's what I was trying to remember. I love Nothing to Lose with him and Tim Robbins. Why? Well, I know why. Because it needs a Blu-ray. But it's Buena Vista. A lot of those films didn't get a Blu-ray, and it sucks. Like Money Talks, that was New Line Cinema, I believe. But that deserves a Blu-ray with him and Charlie Sheen. Chris Tucker, Charlie Sheen, Money Talks. That and Nothing to Lose was in the same year. I think it was '97. And they both did decently at the box office. And neither of them on Blu-ray. It sucks. I like both of those movies. And Nothing to Lose is funny. Martin Lawrence is funny in that. You're calling Tim Robbins, Freaky Jason? You have to kill me, Freaky Jason? Yeah, one of those guys that, oh shit, we are in the fucking desert. I don't get my ass killed here. Nothing to Lose is a very fun movie. Underrated comedy. Again, deserves a Blu-ray. Blue Streak I enjoy. Baby Mama's House I'm not a fan of, but that did become a big hit because it got 3 movies. And that's where things kind of went downhill for Martin Lawrence. Because other than like Bad Boys sequels or Big Mama's House 2 and then did a 3, Rebound, What's the Worst That Could Happen was like 2001 with Dan DeVito. That was a lame, forgettable film. Black Knight I think is one of his worst. I hate Black Knight. Black Knight to me sucks. Rebound, another lame, forgettable one. College Road Trip, I don't even remember a damn thing about it. I think he was in a version of Death at a Funeral, which I thought was disappointing because it's him and Chris Rock, and you think it should be funnier than it is. Oh, Life, before that he did with Eddie Murphy. That I know a lot of people love that movie. I do not. I think it's depressing as fuck. I know a lot of people love it, but I'm like, these two innocent people serve a life sentence and never get free, and then they're 90 years old and they're ready to die. A lot of people find it funny and touching. I found it one of the most depressing comedies in that era. I was depressed as fuck, and I don't watch that movie to be depressed. I know I'm alone in that. Oh well, it's just my feelings on it. But yeah, Rebound, Wild Hearts was a hit. I liked that movie with him and John Travolta, Tim Allen. But yeah, Rebound, What's the Worst That Could Happen, Black Knight, all bombs. This film I don't think did much. College Road Trip, which I don't even remember. I think it had Raven Simone in it. I don't think that did much. Well, maybe that did better than this. I'm talking 5 minutes without talking about this film because this feels like a wannabe Medea film. I'm surprised Martin Lawrence didn't come in with his big mama character and just make it a full Medea film. It feels like they wanted the Tyler Perry success. Although I would rather watch this than Tyler Perry's movies because it has a better cast. Just like you got Martin Lawrence, you got James Earl Jones as his dad, you got Mike Epps as, I guess, a family friend. You got Monique, you got Michael Clarke Duncan, who plays his brother. The movie has its moments. The plot of the film, Martin Lawrence is a TV talk show host, very successful. He has a fiancée who's a reality star who won one of the Survivor reality shows. She has his little dog. They also have a son from Marlon's first marriage. They're invited to his parents' anniversary. He doesn't want to go at first. Ultimately, he's led into going. Now, the humor, it's stuff like, okay, during sex, she's dominant, and Martin Lawrence is making weird faces, going, ooh, Jing John Pow. Like, he's saying words like that. I swear to God, he literally says, Jing John Pow. You know, bug-eyed. Or during the plane, the dog spills a drink on him, so he gets stuff on his white suit, and then he wears these pants that look like from 1965. They look like this chair, honestly. Those pants looks like this chair. If this chair mixed with checkers. And like I say, he meets his family, and one of the issues I have is that the family is such assholes that I did see why Martin Lawrence's character, but everybody's an asshole. Even Martin Lawrence is, like, nobody is likable in the movie. And that's one of my issues. There's no one for me to root for. Because I don't root for Martin Lawrence because the way he's acting cocky at times, and the way he overshadows his son like an asshole. And then, like, his family gives him shit for being rich and for making it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, isn't that one of the good points? Is that you made it. But, oh, you're a rich boy now. Oh, you made all that money now. And then you come back to our country folk. Well, you're acting like country folk redneck fucks. What do you expect him to do? Michael Clarke Duncan, who I miss. Loved him in... He was in The Green Mile, 2003 film Daredevil, Armageddon. He's like roughing up and ready to strangle Martin Lawrence. Mike Epps, who I like Mike Epps. He's funny. All About the Benjamins. I need to pick up the Blu-ray for that with Ice Cube. That's a very funny film. Next Friday. Mike Epps is very talented comedian. He's the guy that got some of the laughs out of me from this film. But he's a con artist. James Earl Jones acts like a dickhead to Martin Lawrence. He's always praising the other guy, Clyde, played by Cedric the Entertainer. Cedric is cocky, going, I always beat you in everything. I beat you in everything. I beat you in everything. Monique is abrasive, and then, nah, I don't think so. Nah, I don't think so. Nah. So who the fuck am I supposed to root for? Bitchy Monique, conman Mike Epps, asshole cocky Cedric the Entertainer, or cocky asshole Martin Lawrence? There's no one to root for in this fucking movie. And I think that's a problem. You take The Great Outdoors, I can root for John Candy against Dan Aykroyd, his character is a bit suspect. I mean, maybe the mom. Maybe the mom who's like the sweet, understanding mom of the group. And then the jokes The jokes that made me laugh was stuff with Mike Epps. Like, there's a scene where Mike Epps thinks someone else is in the shower, but it's really Monique, and they're verbal sparring between Mike Epps and Monique. That's a very funny scene during the shower sequence. That, to me, is probably the best scene of comedy in the movie. But instead, they go more for jokes like Martin Lawrence's fiance, her little dog, literally riding this big old dog named Buster. Buster, motherfucker. Was it Buster? What the fuck his name was. Literally the little dog is riding him, moaning, you know, like a woman riding you, moaning you. This little white dog is riding the fucking bigger dog. Like, that's a big joke. Butty, not Buster, Butty. Because Mike Epps, I remember he says, "Oh, Butty, turn the bitch out." Now, I thought that was a funny line reading from Mike Epps, but I didn't need to see dogs, one little dog fucking riding fucking another dog. Or a stunt gets in Martin Lawrence's face. "Ah, I got a stunt in my face, it sprayed me." Or Martin Lawrence is doing yoga with his fiance and he farts. Oh, did that come out? So it's like a well, I say it's better because the tone, I guess you could say, is more consistent. If it was a Tyler Perry Medea film, Martin Lawrence would be beating his wife, or Michael Clarke Duncan would be beating his wife, or James Earl Jones, you find out, has a meth lab, or some other fucking off-kilter serious shit would happen. So that's why I say it's better than a Tyler Perry movie. Because again, a Tyler Perry movie would have that shit going. This, I guess, is more consistent on that manner. Yeah, obstacle course. This scene I enjoyed mainly for the music. It's the music from Beverly Hills Cop 1, the Neutron Dance. It was great to... Martin Lawrence and Cedric the Entertainer, I think, do have chemistry with each other. They're both very talented professional comedians. And them trying to outshoot each other, like outdo each other in obstacle course. And they're so adamant they're pushing people out of the way, but because they're so adamant to beat each other. And the Neutron Dance, I was having fun with that, but then they go overboard where Martin Lawrence is not listening to his kid wants help. I'm like, okay, cool, he's helping the kid, but then he leaves him behind. So, again, once again, made me not like Martin Lawrence. But I guess the movie's trying to say that Martin Lawrence is in the wrong, but his family's in the wrong too. And then when Martin Lawrence finally blows up, he only blows up... Is that really blowing up? Well, I guess it's a little bit. He's blowing up at his dad, James Earl Jones. I'm like, if this was done better, he should be blowing up at everybody. He should be blowing up at Monique, at this guy, Mike Epps, who's stealing everything, and you keep manhandling me, Michael Clarke Duncan, and blah, 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 blah. This is why I never come back here. I would say this is that, but they're doing it because, oh, you and that fiance, that's not the right fit. And you, with your money, that's not the right thing. And you, blah, blah. I'm sitting there going, there's nothing wrong with being successful. Of course, it's what you do with it. But it makes it seem as if all these other people are innocent in what they were doing and get a free pass. You know, and the son's like, oh, I want to stay here. I'm a Jenkins. I'm not, you know, because Martin Lawrence had changed his name when he was successful as a talk show host. So, well, I already spoilers. Long story short, he blows up. The son is sad. The fiance's talking this and this. Martin Lawrence drops her off. Which I almost say that came out of the blue because he had this big rant about his not even his family, his dad. The idea is, you know, he didn't like some of the things the fiance said. And also they try to force this thing where Martin Lawrence had a past love and crush. And now that's his true love, so he's going to dump the fiance. It just played on a lot of the tropes you would see. I wish they would change it up a bit. Be like, no, the fiance's, she's competitive, but she's a decent person. That could have been a nice change of pace. Or, you know what, it's not bad being successful. Yeah, you know, I could have done this and that, but you guys are in the wrong too. So I could come up a little bit from my high horse, but you guys got to come up a little bit from the redneck hill. Yeah, I climb that little neck a bit more, the little bit, like meet me halfway. Cue the song. From Over the Top. Meet me halfway. That, I think, would have been a better story, is two people, two groups, meeting halfway. But no. It's like, you're wrong, Martin. We're right. I don't know. I just... a lot of unlikable characters. Martin Lawrence, I mean, he didn't really get a lot of laughs out of me, and I liked the guy. I did Nothing to Lose, the Bad Boys films, even Wild Hogs, as silly as that gets. But really, it was bits of Mike Epps, some of his line readings, and you know, that bit with Mike Epps and Monique together. I mean, I guess if you want to see Martin Lawrence get the shit get down, because Michael Clarke Duncan beats the shit out of him, and then Monique beats the shit out of him. I guess that, or... is that the worst comedy ever? I don't even know if I'll tell this a rant, because I don't like the film, but at the same time, I'd rather watch this than any Tyler Perry, like, Madea movie. But that's another thing. This movie did not need to be almost 2 hours long. It's like 1 hour and 53 minutes. It's way too damn long for this kind of movie. I mean, all those other Martin Lawrence films I mentioned that I said I liked, I'd rather go watch those again. I'm trying to remember other family reunion movies. I'll put it better than Tyler Perry, The Family Reunion, Madea. It's way better than that movie. That's why I almost don't want to call this a rant, because this was more tonally consistent. I like seeing Martin Lawrence, even though I didn't find him that funny, but it's a... I don't know how to explain it. You know those actors that you like, even if they're not doing the best or funniest, you still like seeing them? Martin Lawrence is one of those guys. I still like seeing them, despite... I don't think this is one of his high points. It's predictable. It's maybe your stereotypical... as I say, it got a couple chuckles out of me because of the stuff I mentioned. I like the Neutron Dance, that whole obstacle course segment, aside from the way it ends. It's just like, I should have known better, because it's directed by the same fucking guy that directed Space Jam 2 and fucking Scary Movie 5. Now, it's not nearly as bad as those films. Which barbershop movie did he do? The new one? I would say so far this is the best Malcolm D. Lee, that's his fucking name. The best Malcolm D. Lee film I've seen. I'm like, if this is the best he could do, no wonder his track record is so much shit. Space Jam New Legacy and fucking Scary Movie 5. That's the guy who directed this. And he did those films before, after this. So obviously he didn't get better. When Home Roscoe Jenkins is your best movie, man, in my opinion, that's saying a lot. Plus, I'd be curious, sometimes I don't put rant in the title, because sometimes I'm curious if people watch it, or they just look at the title, they go, okay. So I'm curious. And I bet someone's going to ask, why don't you put rant in the title? You didn't watch this part of the video. So sometimes I do that just to see. But yeah, sorry to Marion. If you like the film, that's cool. Sorry that this is that positive review, but like I said, Martin Lawrence, give me Martin, give me his stand-up comedy, Give me, again, Nothing to Lose. Give me that on fucking Blu-ray. Give me the Bad Boys films. Give me, I mentioned, even Wild Hogs I had more fun with than this. Yeah, I don't think Martin Lawrence, yeah, I like Blue Street. That's no, I did like Blue Street. When it got to a certain point, he didn't really pick the best projects, it seems. I don't know, just grabbing the cash when he can. I read up he's doing a thriller. I don't know if he's playing a police officer and they're going up against a copycat killer. I don't know if he's a star. I have a feeling they won't make him the star, which is I would like to see him do a serious movie. I know Chris Rock tried that with Spiral, but I didn't love that film, but I liked seeing someone doing something that different. I would like Martin Lawrence to try. He may fail, but I like to see him try. So we'll see. I forget what it's called. I forget what it was called. Like on IMDb on Martin Lawrence, he has a new thriller. Yeah, I don't know if he's a star of it, or if he's going to be like the support and name recognition, name brand to sell the movie. I don't know. But it's sad. From like the last 10 years, he hasn't done many movies. Last 10 or so years, he was in Bad Boys 3, which was fun. A film with Matthew McConaughey we had a big part in. And maybe one more. But yeah, not much. Maybe just settled down, retired for a bit. I don't know. But he's a talented guy, a talented comedian. I wish in this heyday he had picked better scripts. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Rebound, Black Knight, this movie. That's why he didn't stay on top. It was because of movies like this stuff. He got him because of the success of Big Mama's House and Blue Streak and Bad Boys, but it didn't last because of shit like this. I know there are people that like it, but I think it's like a 5.3 or something, and I can see why. Like I said, still not as bad as Tyler Perry's Medea movies, not by far. So I guess maybe I want to give it more of a pass, and I'm doing it because of that. It is what it is. But thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.